and welcome again to the Psychic Side Radio TV podcast here on the A1R Psychic Radio Network, Moonstruck TV and Lightning TV and other fine places. We're the number one psychic radio network on Earth. It doesn't matter who's number two. That just doesn't matter. So you're here and you're with the best, so we appreciate that. Now, if you're new to the program, I want to welcome you, but I need to tell you that you're a little bit behind. We've been on the air now for several months, and so you need to know I have a solution for you. You can go to the YouTube channel, go to Moonstruck TV, and you can binge watch. You can binge watch a few episodes at a time, and then you can go and watch Bridgerton or whatever else you'd like to watch on Netflix or whatever else you want to watch. But just watch a few separate episodes at a time until you catch up, and then you'll know everything that we've been talking about for the past several months. But I appreciate you being here. I'm your host, John Cappello, and I'm from Texas. I'm a psychic medium. I do a bunch of other stuff too. I'm an author, and I have a little word camera, and I travel around, the Southwest and Midwest region of the United States. And this week I am staying home. Last week I was at the Dallas Yoga Fest, and I got to meet a Swami. It was fascinating. I never met a Swami, and so it was really interesting. It was a really, really nice event, and I was pleased that they invited me to come. Also, last week I talked about the third house of the zodiac. Now, I like to talk a little bit about astrology, and I do it from a different perspective than maybe other astrologers do. They'll talk about eclipses and they talk about new moons and things like that, and they're important. And I don't need to talk about those because you're going to hear from somebody else. So I'm going to talk about things that are a little bit different because astrology is such a huge topic. It's something that it takes a lifetime to learn, and even then you only scratch the surface, which is amazing because it just has such a wealth of information, and it's very rewarding if you learn it. And some people just gravitate to it, and I'm just one of them. I don't know why, but I always have. Ever since I was a young person, I gravitated to astrology, more Western astrology than Eastern. But I like Eastern as well. It's just a little bit more complicated for me to learn. So last week I talked about the third house of the zodiac, which is naturally the sign of Gemini. We're in Gemini right now. Lots of things going on with that particular sign, especially with Saturn being in Pisces. Now, why is that important? Because Pisces is another mutable sign like Gemini. And you're starting to see the presidential race light up, and we're seeing lots of mutable sign candidates getting into the race. Of course, there's Donald Trump, who's a Gemini. You have Mr. DeSantis, the governor of Florida, who's a Virgo. So is Tim Scott. You have Christie, who's a Virgo. You have several Virgos in there. We've only had two Virgo presidents from what I can remember. So they have a little bit of a hard time getting elected, but they can. It's just that when you talk to a Virgo, Virgos are very, very practical people, and they want just the facts, and they're very analytical and detailed. So when you listen to these folks speak, listen for the detail. And we have one Leo in the race. We have Vivek, and we have one Capricorn, a 29-degree Capricorn, Nikki Haley. And that brings me to my astrology topic today, which is the 29th degree. And I know you'll be excited about hearing that too. The 29th degree of a sign is called the critical degree or the fated degree. Some people say the fame degree. It's the last degree of every sign because every sign has 30 degrees in it. But the last degree is the one where something can happen. It's the weakest part of the sign, but yet it's the sign. It's the area where a person or the native does something, and there could be problems. there could be problems in the area where that particular degree rests. And so it's um, it's just something that I think you should know, because right now I'm looking at the chart of the United States, and if you followed the program, I talk about that quite a bit, because the planet Pluto, and I've been watching Pluto too, because we only have a few minutes on our program, and we can't really talk about a lot of things in super detail. But Pluto is in the same place that it was during the American Revolution. And, and when it's at the 29th degree of Capricorn, Capricorn is the sign of power, of corruption, government. There's lots of good things in Capricorn, but in this particular case, when in the case of the United States, it's about strength, willpower. It's something that we need to pay attention to. And now we see this government corruption really raising its head at the 29th degree. So you're seeing the DOJ do some things that are rather unusual to kind of cover its tracks, to make its opponents go away. And it's of course, it's my perception, but it's something that I think is worth considering, because the 29th degree, if you have it in your chart, you look to see where that planet is and where it is in your chart. That's the whole key, where these aspects are in your chart, because we've talked about what the houses mean. And in the house of the second house of the United States, that's about the land. It's about values. We're going through so many changes in our values right now. We're going through changes with our money. All of these things are second house issues. They're really very much in the news. And with 29 degrees Capricorn, it's something to watch, because the government is really going to exert itself, or at least the corruption in the government's going to be showing itself out. So because this is when something happens. This is the critical degree. It's 29 degrees retrograde. And so it's already gone past the 29th degree, but once before. So this is the second pass of the 29th degree. And so when it goes forward again, then we'll see the fruition of some of these things. So I wanted to just bring that out and let you know, because there are certain candidates in the presidential race that have prominent 29 degrees. I'm not going to say who they are, but there's always trouble around them. So, but we'll talk about that later. Now, I'm told we have a caller, and so I'd like to go to Debbie in South Jordan, Utah. So, Debbie, are you there?
Yes.
Hi, Debbie. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Fine, fine. You have a question for me, or because it just seems to me that you've been quite upset over something here lately, and does this involve a relationship?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to see if you could
Pardon me?
maybe my help, or if you can connect to my sister on the other side.
Your sister on the other side. Okay. Was there illness, cancer, or something around her?
Strokes and strokes.
She had a stroke.
Had many strokes.
A mini stroke.
Many
okay.
of them.
Well, a lot of times when people have. So you said
many of them, strokes? Like
several strokes. Okay.
Several.
Well, a lot of times when you have strokes, it's due to like blood clots, or there's different things that cause those things. So she may have had some issues with clotting, or she may have had some issues with some blockages in some of her arteries. But it also seems to me, did she have some headaches? Did she complain of any headaches right before she passed away?
No. She had
okay. Have you been having headaches?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, it just seems like I don't know. We might not be connecting with her right now because I've got some other energies around you that are trying to get involved here. But we can focus on your sister. How long ago was it that she passed away?
It's been almost 11 years.
11 years. So your sister passed away after having several strokes, and so she became
Yeah.
more debilitated after each stroke, or she just had and one stroke finally took her life. Does that make sense, or was there something else that finally took her
Yeah.
life?
No, that she had a couple of little strokes, and those couple little strokes um, is what got her, and she passed away.
Okay, okay. Is there a birthday or some type of anniversary coming up around her?
Yes, her birthday is next month.
Okay. Because she's, what I'm hearing from her is that she's glad that you contacted her in this way because she knows that you'll be thinking about her on her birthday. She knows that you miss her a great deal. She says that we're y'all best of friends, or are we all real close?
Um, Sort of close, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, that may be one reason why she's not coming in real strong is because you weren't super close. And sometimes when we're not real close to someone, they are a little bit, they're not as forthcoming. And that's going to be my next topic in our show today is about what people say to us when they cross over. The thing about it is that your sister appears to be okay in spirit. She seems to be a person that, for me, and I can only tell you what my impressions of her was. She was someone that liked her privacy. Okay, she was someone that didn't say everything to everyone. And when she got ill, and I do feel like there was illness around her prior to these several strokes that she had. She might not have acknowledged it. I don't know if she smoked or what. Did she smoke at all?
Yes.
Okay, because it just seems like she had some other extenuating circumstances, and I'm not sure. Did she not live in the same area with you?
Yes, she did.
She did. She lived, but y'all didn't talk every day.
Right.
Okay, okay. What questions do you have for her?
Just that I miss her and her daughter. They are both passed over,
Okay.
and
Well, she
my family thinks of her all the time.
okay. So I'm sorry about her daughter passed away as well. I don't know. These two just don't seem to want to talk a lot today. I don't know why, but it just seems like we're kind of pulling teeth from them. But it does seem like she does acknowledge you, and she says that like I say, I think she was a private person. She was very close to her family, to her nuclear family, and it's not that she was estranged from you or anything. It's just that she seemed to be a person that stayed, that liked her privacy, didn't like everybody to know all of her business. That's what I'm seeing. Now, is mother also in spirit?
No,
Okay,
no,
you have a
my mother's
grandmother in
alive.
spirit? You have a grandmother in
Yeah,
spirit?
no, just
Okay,
just
your
my
grandmother's not in
my
spirit.
my sister and her oldest daughter.
Okay, but grandmother is still here as well.
Not granddaughter. It would be her daughter.
No, no, no. Your grandmother in spirit.
Yes, both of my grandmothers are in spirit.
Okay. Because I feel like she's around some older women as well. Okay. So
Yeah.
you have family on the other side, and you have your
Yes.
sister, and you have her oldest daughter. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, they both seem to be doing okay. I'm not sure of the circumstances about the older daughter. Um, I don't know. Did she pass away as an adult or teen? An older teen?
Um, she was just turned 21.
Okay. Were there drugs involved or anything with her?
Yes, an overdose.
Okay. An overdose. Okay. Because it just seems to me like there was something there that, like I say, they don't really want to talk about it that much, but as we get into it, there's more that's being revealed. And I just want you to know that your sister is there to nurture her daughter, and your grandmother is there to be with her family, with the family. But they are doing okay, and they're very happy, that you called in today to speak to them. So thank you very much for calling today. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Well, take care. Now we do have another caller. Let's go ahead and take the other caller, and then we'll talk about our second topic. Okay, we have Priya coming in, and Priya, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from London in the UK. Hi, John. Great to speak to you.
From London. Okay, well, very good. Well, Priya, are you close to your father or a father figure?
Yes, my father died 5 years ago, but was very close to him.
Okay, because it just feels like he's still very, very much a part of your life. Because this is a man I feel for me was a little bit bigger than life. He was always someone that you were a little bit in awe of. Does that make sense? Priya?
Very much. Yes.
Well, so your father was a little bit bigger than life. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So, when we have someone who has such a big influence on us in life, it's very hard to just let them go because
Yeah.
we depend on them with
Yeah.
the wisdom of the ages, if you want to call it that. And
Yeah.
and so I want you to know he's there, he's around you. And what I'm hearing from him is that you have a lot of wisdom as well, Priya. He says that you learned so much from him, and he says you understand the ways of the world. Okay. He says that you are in some ways taking his place as far as being the wise one. And he says that you need to just have some confidence in yourself and realize that you can only do the best that you can. And he says that, I doubted myself too at times, but I made the best decisions I could based on the information that I had. And he says that you'll do the same thing. He says that you're a very good person. Now, Priya, have you ever been in nursing or healing of any sort? Priya? Hello, Priya. Are you still with us? Okay. Well, it just seems that, we have these folks in our lives that are bigger than life. Sometimes it's a parent, sometimes it's a coach, sometimes it's a religious person, sometimes it's a grandfather or grandmother. And there's just something special about these folks, these people that always seem to have an answer, or they have a quip, or they have a personality that makes you feel welcomed, or that they were charismatic in their way. And so, as we're trying to get Priya back on the phone, this is what I wanted to talk about today, because as you can see that in our first caller, I'm so sorry that she lost her sister and her niece. But many times when someone has an overdose or they've taken their life, they don't come in very quickly because they seem to be shy. At least to me, they do. I can only speak to how people come in and present themselves. But with Priya, you could just feel her dad's presence. It's almost like he's still here. He's such a powerful figure in her life, and he has an energy about him that is warm and friendly, and is very nurturing and kind. And those are the kind of people that we remember in our life. Those are the examples that we strive to meet when we are in other situations. And what happens in life is that you're usually one of the youngest or the youngest for the longest time, and before you know it, you're the oldest. And that's kind of what's happened to me. I'm now the old man of the family, and I go, what happened? I was the baby of the family for all those years, and now all those folks are gone, and I'm the oldest, and then there's a kind of a responsibility that you feel being the oldest, and like, what am I being the oldest for? So it's very interesting. But I think we have Priya back. Priya, are you back?
We do. I am.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a big thunderstorm here. Like the rain could be affecting.
Oh, the weather is affecting your internet?
I think so. Very
Yeah.
strong thunderstorm.
I hate it when that happens. It's terrible.
Well,
Well,
it just started 5 minutes before you called me.
oh my. Well, it happens here all the time too. We get the wind or something that just takes the internet away, and then all of a sudden you're in limbo, and you just have to kind of see it through. But Priya, I'm just delighted to be in contact with your dad's spirit, because he seems to be such a good man. And is your mother still here?
She is, yes.
Okay, because it seems like mom and dad cared very much about one another. Did they stay together?
Yes, they did.
Okay, and so he's reaching out to your mother right now, and so please let her know that he's doing okay, and that he still loves her very much as he does the rest of the family. He's doing all right as well, and it just seems to me, were there some hard issues around him?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Well, Priya, is there a question you have before we move on? But
So
what would you like to ask?
I have a question about a job, actually. I'm applying for a role as a chief of staff for an organization. And it is a bit of a stretch, but I'm really, I'm kind of in this big transition and threshold in my life. And I'm just really curious about, if you have any insights on whether this is the right role for me or something else, or what's happening in my working life, really.
Okay. Well, Priya, have you ever been in the medical profession at all, or a nurse or anything?
No.
Okay. Is there any nurses around you or any medical people?
I have doctor friends who are
Doctor
doctors.
friends. Okay. Well, getting back to your job application, what is your birth sign?
Taurus.
You're Taurus. Okay. Well, Taurus you're a little bit overdue. You need to go for this job. The thing about it is, if you're going for a job that is out of your comfort zone, then you just have to prepare for it, and you have to either get additional education or certification or whatever to make yourself more qualified. But I like this. I like this energy you have of getting out of your comfort zone and reaching for something that has previously maybe you felt beyond you. And this goes back to what your dad was saying about your self-confidence. It's good that you're having the confidence that you can do this next position. It's just that when you go in for interviews, let them know you're confident. Let them know you really want the job. And I'm not going to guarantee that you're going to get it, but I think that you're going to make a really good impression on them. And I feel like the worst that comes out of it is going to be that you've learned a little bit more about your limits, and you've learned that you can go beyond them. So I'm really happy for you that you're trying to get this next position. And so I would continue to strive for it. And if it's not that one, you're very close to finding something that you're going to be happy with. Okay?
Yeah, great. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. So time just flies. We only have a couple minutes left. But usually when spirit comes in on mediumship, I'm glad we had the mediumship examples today, because they were kind of exactly what I wanted to talk about. A lot of times people will indicate if they are really close to you, or if they're not. They'll indicate if they were very emotionally available people. Many times they'll tell you how they passed away. You see, Priya's dad had a heart problem. He was just kind of holding his chest, and the other people were showing me other things, and the other lady wasn't taking everything. But I feel like if she thought about some of the things I said, she may see the angle, or she may be able to make those comments fit. But people will tell you about how they passed away. They'll tell you a little bit about their lives. A lot of times they'll talk about their relationship with you, and they can be very specific. But of course, when you're talking to a spirit, they're going to talk a little bit about the past. They may talk about what's going on in your life right now, but usually for validation purposes, they've got to indicate their relationship with you, and they've got to indicate something that can be validated through the medium, okay? Or the medium's got to validate something through the spirit, if you want to call it that. And by that gives the medium and that gives the conversation credibility, and you can move on from there. So I hope that if you're going to practice your mediumship, or you're going to practice working on your psych ability, always look for that validation from your client, because that's the sign that you are on target. So with that, we're about ready to close our program. It's like I say, I'm taking a little bit of a break this week. It's my wife's birthday weekend, so we're going to celebrate that, and we're going to take her to a nice dinner. Her mother's birthday is the next day, so we get to celebrate 2 in 1. So we're really happy about that. Also, last week was Father's Day. I want to wish a belated Father's Day to everyone, and also happy belated Juneteenth to anyone that was celebrating that particular holiday. But we're here on the Psychic Side. We're every Tuesday at 5 p.m. here on the A1R Psychic Radio Network. Be sure to like my Facebook page, and don't forget to go to Miracles of Joy, their website, and be sure to use their promo code PSO223. I've memorized that, so I use it often. I want this and I want that. So make sure you buy a lot from the Miracles of Joy. They're really great people, and we want to say hello, say goodbye for now. Bye-bye.